Sir Jim Ratcliffe's made it clear his transfer strategy at Manchester United is to find the next big star, the next Bellingham, the next Mbappe. But who are they and who are Man United looking at? In today's video, we're going to deep dive into what Sir Jim Ratcliffe has said and what his dream Manchester United lineup will look like next season. So what is Ratcliffe's plan? So we know that he said he wants to focus on young stars, mostly domestic talents that can be developed into superstars. Instead of Man United going and spending 70, 80 million on big stars with higher wages, we're going to do what Liverpool did. Van Dijk was at Southampton, Robertson was at Hull, Mane was at Southampton. You look at all their players, where they came from. Wijnaldum came from Newcastle, for me, they came from Hoffenheim. We're going to find those good players. And Jim Ratcliffe said they've got to suit the way we want to play. They've got to have the technical ability, but they've got to have the right attitude, and they've got to be players that can be developed into stars. And we've seen Ten Hag develop some good young players into stars. He's doing that with Garnacho and Mena, which makes me feel like Ten Hag could be part of the future plan. But that is a discussion for our next live stream. But it has been confirmed by Romano that United will sign a centre-back and a striker, and it's very likely that a right wing and another midfielder is on the book. Centre-back, striker, right wing and midfielder look to be the four positions that Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos will sign this summer for United. The rest also depends on outs. Will there be a second centre-back? Will there be a second midfielder? Will there be another full-back? It's all really going to depend on sales. And I was sort of thinking, well, who's up for sale? Not many people are safe. I like Ahmad, but he could go. I like Varane, but he could go. Varane, Evans, Martial, Amrabat could all be released. Wan-Bissaka could go. Maguire would go. I put it in sort of most likely to go. I think Sancho, Donny, Williams and Greenwood almost nailed on going. I think Ericsson, Mejbri, Lindelof could go. Lindelof's seen as easy to offload because of low wages. McTominay could potentially go, but he might be seen as having some use. I think Fernandes could go. Casemiro looks like he's going to go potentially. I think Maguire, because of his wages, probably end up staying because he wouldn't go to West Ham. Anthony could be difficult to sell. Malassi with the injury could be difficult to sell. Pellistri and Ahmad could be loans. I think one of Pellistri and Ahmad will leave. So, we don't know which of these players will go, but a lot of these players are up for sale. I feel like I've missed an obvious name, so I do apologise if I missed someone out there. So who are Ineos' targets? What does Jim Ratcliffe want the starting 11 to look like? The most obvious one, and I think the signing for me that almost feels nailed on, unless something happens to Elise. Now, we know that Ineos like him. 50 million reported fee, 50, 55 million reported fee. Crystal Palace have basically said, yeah, we'll sell him. Elise is a Man United fan. He would turn down Chelsea, he'd turn down Man City for Manchester United. He loves Man United. He's a right wing. We need a right wing as good as Garnacho's been. Anthony's just not been good enough. And he offers something different. He's a pass-first creative winger. We have wingers that are carry-first wingers, and Rashford and Garnacho are great carry first winners. They carry the ball, they dribble, and then they cut in and shoot. But Elise gives that pass first creative dynamic as a winger, which will work. But Sancho's a pass first winger, and Anthony's a pass first winger, and it hasn't worked at United, but it will work if we get the dynamics of the squad right. I think he's a fantastic player. The problem is injury. The concern is injury, but contact has taken place between Man United and Elise. Omar Barada wanted him at City. Dan Ashworth looked at him at Newcastle. If we get Dougie Freedman in, he looked at him at Reading and brought him to Crystal Palace. It's already been approved by the Man United scouts. They're already liked by Ineos. It's already liked by Ten Hag. It won't be confirmed until a recruitment person comes in and confirms Elise, but this first deal looks like it's going to be nailed on. There's been links to Nico Williams and Neto, but with Elise being a massive United fan, Jim Ratcliffe wanting domestic talent, him being young and Palace being open to selling, this almost looks like what I'd say pretty much a nailed-on deal. Target number 2 is Benjamin Sesko. Now, I tweeted this earlier today to just give you a bit of insight on Benjamin Sesko and the news. I think he could be the striker signing. We're also looking at Xerxes, but Sesko to United's really evolved, and this is why. Man United will sign a number 9 this summer, says Fabrizio Romano. Sesko is believed to be the option explored the furthest, followed by Joshua Xerxes. Sesko has a 43 million release clause this summer and was heavily scouted by the club in summer 2022. He has been linked to Man United in recent months, with many reliable reports confirming interest in the 20-year-old striker. Academy Scoop confirmed, and they're a good source. They confirmed Maino's debut, Forson's debut. They confirmed that United's recruitment team have looked at him, and because of his age and versatility, they think he could be an ideal profile to support Højlund, as they want someone that's actually good to support Højlund in case he gets injured, rather than this Zagallo crap that we've gone with in the past. The Muppeteers also confirmed an interest from Man United in the striker, saying they are keeping an eye. They are watching this guy. We've been watching him for years, and Muppeteers have been quite reliable lately. We also know about Benjamin Sesko. When we first looked at him, he was at RB Salzburg, but he went and did that move to RB Leipzig, probably due to the relationship of RB Salzburg and RB Leipzig, but is now, reportedly open to the Premier League, that next move. And with his release clause, that could be Manchester United. So, with 4 goals and 2 assists in his last 7 Bundesliga games, let me tell you a little bit about Sesko. He's 6'4" and he possesses lightning fast speed. He's technically very good with both feet. Not only is he quick, can he run in behind, has that Haaland-esque kind of runs in behind, similar to Højlund to an extent. but he's good with both feet. He's unpredictable. He's got great feet. He's a good dribbler. He's good on the ball, but he's got that mentality that 10 gloves in a striker. That striker that would rather like break a bone and score, like would risk breaking a bone to score. Always wants the ball. He's very good in transition with his pace, which allows 10 to play the way he wants to play. But he's so physically and athletically strong. He can hold up the ball. He's got the best out of players like Konate that are physically good. He's done that a lot, and his hold up play, his link up play is very good. He showed immense potential. He had a slow start at to Leverkusen, RB Leipzig, but he's really, really grown. And obviously, Ratcliffe said he wants to find the next Mbappe, the next Bellingham. Well, this could be the next Haaland even. I mean, Højlund could be the next Haaland. I mean, to be fair, there's only like 2-3 years age difference between Højlund and Haaland, but you know what I mean. Target number 3, and this is a guy that Kobbie Mainoo and hopefully Luke Shaw and Rashford will be scouting on England duty. Branthwaite, I think he's 21. I've put him down as 22, but I actually think he's 21, isn't he? Centre back at Everton, 65 million reported fee, but it's believed that could be lowered to 55 million. I reckon he'll go to 55 to 60 million. If Everton get relegated, maybe 50. I think he'll go for 60 million. I think the most I would spend is 60 million on a centre back, because then you're looking at Maguire territory, and you look at Omar Barada, he sent a 60 million cap. Maguire was for 80 million. He walked away from Maguire, got Diaz for Man City. I don't think United will go over 60 million for Branthwaite. But Ineos like this, he's a top target for United, but he is a top target for many teams. Newcastle are interested. Arsenal, Tottenham have also been linked. Chelsea have been linked. He's a top target for many top teams. Even Liverpool have been linked to the guy. Ineos are big fans. Initial contact is expected to take place, but he's someone that Man United have been watching for multiple years, and he ticks that young domestic talent box, that next John Stones-esque box. He's someone that United are looking at. And what you get with Branthwaite is he's a very different profile to Martinez. He's a very good replacement for Varane and Maguire. Now, I don't want Varane to leave, but I think Varane will go. Maybe Maguire will stay, but he's an elite box defender. You've got Martinez that is great on the ball, great in possession, playing out from the back, and then you've got the dual winner, the box defender in obviously Branthwaite. But because he's two-footed, if Martinez is injured, he can play Martinez's role, but he could also play next to Lisandro Martinez. He can play left centre back, he can play right centre back. He's got that Vidic-esque mentality. I think he's brilliant, and I think because he doesn't play for a possession-based team, we don't know how good he is on the ball, but he looks like he's got capabilities to be decent on the ball. When I watched Man U versus Everton, I was really impressed with him in and out of possession and his reading of the game. He was Everton's best defender by a country mile. Now, position number 4, target number 4 is the midfield. And it's not really been narrowed down. Amadou Onana has been the most linked, but I think because he's Premier League proven, he's expensive, Arsenal, big teams looking at him. I think a Kuhlman, a Fofana or a Weef is looking a little bit more likely. They'll be a bit cheaper, potentially Kuhlman there. I think it all depends on what others go for, because United's focus will be Elise, Sesko, and probably either Todibo or Branthwaite, or whoever centre back they choose first. I think target number 4 is midfield, and I think they'll probably end up getting who's left. So if Onana and Hullman's gone, they might go for Weefer. I like all of these players. They clearly want a 6, that's 8 hybrid type. Weefer, I think value for money could be the best. He just looks the most technically good on the ball. He'd be the one I'm most convinced by. But again, apparently Barcelona are looking at him. We did inquire about signing Fofana last summer, and we had interest in Amadou Onana last summer. Hullman is one that we've been recently linked to, but we'll have to see. Going into target number 5, the right centre back, which is probably, I think we'll probably sign a right centre back. And I think Todibo is an interesting one, because some reports are saying Nice aren't going to give him to us for cheap, which is weird because Nice is owned by Ratcliffe and they stopped him going to Tottenham in January. But reportedly has always been about 38 million. We almost signed him in the summer. We would have signed him if Maguire left, and then Maguire didn't leave. It was him or Pavard, actually, to be fair. And there were sort of links to him since Ratcliffe's come in, because Ratcliffe owns Nice. The player would move to United. The player was open to moving to United in the summer. That deal nearly happened. We obviously rate him. He's Nice, so Ineos obviously rate him. Dan Ashworth would have had him on the radar at Newcastle for sure. Depends on, again, the recruitment person. I think these are the targets we want, but Sir Jim Ratcliffe has said we have an idea of what we want, but obviously we've got to consult with recruitment experts because they'll be the ones ultimately deciding. But Man United like him, Ineos like him. I'd assume recruitment like him, because what's not to like about him? The only downside of him is, okay, is he good in the air? Would he be a good partner for Martinez in terms of aerial presence, which would mean you definitely need a Schulman or a Weefer in midfield. But this guy is so good in possession. He's so good at playing out from the back, but he's a great wide channel defender, great at covering large spaces, great 1v1, great at defending transitions in large spaces. And when you think of how open Man United's midfield is and how much large spaces have got to defend, Todibo does that. Todibo and Branthwaite could be some pairing with Martinez, and I'd hopefully Varane, but I think it will be Maguire. I think Varane will go, on a free, unfortunately, and I think that Lindelof will be sold because it's lower wages than Maguire. But that's not there. I think they're the 5 targets that United are sort of looking at. But I think these are names to watch. Xerxes potentially, Matthias Tell potentially, but I think he stays at Bayern. Neto, Williams, Bakayoko and Sule have all been linked on the right wing side of things. I think we also linked to the Sporting right winger, Edwards, was that what it's called? Antonio Silva, Tapsoba, Lenny Euro, and Nasio, all centre-backs that have been linked. Fullbacks, we've been linked to a few fullbacks names about. I think the Fulham fullback Robinson could be one to look at. And of course, Jao Neves. I think United love Jao Neves, would love to sign Jao Neves, but he's going to be that 80 million marker player. And I think unless we go big and we do some great sales, I can't see Jao Neves to Manchester United happening. Which brings me into the final part of the show, the lineup. What could our lineup look like next season? I think it could look like this. You can argue between Garnacho and Rashford, but I think on form, Garnacho probably deserves to start with Rashford. I'm going to keep Ahmad in there. Potentially, this could be the lineup. But I like the front three. I think midfield would definitely need another CM if Amrabat, Eriksson, Casemiro, and McTominay will go. We definitely need another midfielder because we can't rely on Mount to stay fit. I put Hillman in there just because, I don't know, I'd have probably gone Weaver if it was my choice, but we've been linked to Hillman a bit more. I've put potential new fullbacks in there because Wan-Bissaka's future's not safe. Malassi's future's not safe. Martinez, Todibo, Branthwaite, Maguire. I think Branthwaite could potentially even play over Todibo next to Martinez if we sign him. But this is an idea of what the lineup could look like next season. And hopefully we do some good business. I'm feeling positive, but you just never know with United. Whenever I feel positive, it doesn't last long. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this different kind of video. You found it informing. Thank you for watching. Bye.